This is Frank Skinner. This is
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Pierre Novelli. You can text the show on 81215. Follow us on X and Instagram at Frank on the Radio. Email via frank@absoluteradio.co.uk. Every time I see X like that, I think of Leonardo's Vitruvian Man.
Oh.
There you go.
See on Twitter.
I've said it.
Yeah.
It's out there. I've had some very odd encounters this
Really?
week.
Oh.
Very odd.
What happened?
First one, I was in Birmingham on last Saturday, and there was a group of people, a man and two women, and he said, "Are you you're Jasper Carrot, aren't you?" I said, "No, I'm not." He goes, "Oh, you are." I said, "No, I'm really not Jasper Carrot." And he said to these women, "I told you he was Jasper Carrot." I thought, "Where are you getting your confirmation?" I've just said I'm not him. I said, "I'm honestly not." And he went, "Yeah." And then as I walked away, he said it was nice talking to you. And I said, "You weren't."
And it wasn't.
Well, it was like, but they weren't talking to me. They were talking to some other person who
They were
wasn't there.
firing a series of falsehoods at you.
It does raise the question what you could possibly have said to ever successfully deny being Jasper Carrot.
No, I know. I could have done a joke. No, that was a joke.
Oh
That was a joke.
A gut punch there.
That was a joke. It was obviously there's some sense of he's a comedian, he's local,
Yes.
and then you go into a whole mix of I could have been Enoch and Eli.
But the confidence.
Yeah, Enoch and Eli was a black country double act.
Oh, apologies for not instantly knowing that.
They were legendary in the area, and they would talk about stuff like, I got a bee, I got a pet bee there, Enoch. Have you, Eli? Oh, I took it down the park this morning for a fly around, and it was shut. It was stuff like that.
Oh.
But the legendary.
What sort of
local-
time period were they operating
Oh,
in?
not like I'm not talking about the 1900s. I'm talking.
okay.
They were around in the 70s, 80s. They may still be around, God willing.
So what were your other encounters, please?
Well, then I was at a bus stop, and a lady, who I think was a Chinese lady, older lady, came over and said, "Are you Mr. Frank Skinner?"
was she announcing the
Mr.
drama?
It was like I was going on to work in men's club. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Frank Skinner.
On the drums.
Yeah,
And I said, obviously, I said I was just because. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
And what did you say?
I said, yes, I am. And she said, "Can I have a photograph?" I said, "Of course." And she was a small lady and had quite short arms. I said, "Shall I do it?" She said, No, it's fine. And it was quite unsatisfactory. Her arms were short, and it was a selfie, and I didn't feel enough of me was in frame. I was like looking in through a. Like if I was a prisoner who'd got drunk last night and been thrown into the cells, and someone was looking through my peephole.
Yeah.
It was like that. So I'm
You'd
in
had
the
something break in a different room.
Yeah.
Just looking around the door.
I'm in the top corner of the frame, and I offered to do it because it's hard if you've got short arms, you know.
Yeah.
What did she say?
She didn't fully extend either, I'll be honest with you. I didn't want to tell her, but you got to fully extend.
Always hand the phone to the longest arm in the group.
Yes, exactly.
Always.
But I mean, I can understand why people don't want to hand their phone to someone else, lest I should run away with it.
Yeah.
You've got international representation.
No, I know. But it would have been a great story. I handed a little old. Well, she wasn't old. She was probably younger than me. Yeah, she was old. And Imagine that, though, on the news, saying I handed it to Frank Skinner for a selfie, he ran off as my phone.
Imagine if you'd have suddenly licked it.
The thing is, with one of those, you'd start running as a joke and you'd realise you'd done like a half a mile. It was too late to turn back. It just kept running forever.
Just crime watch. Jasper Carrot is being sought by police this evening.
Yeah. You'd become folklore. Just running, like ragged with a beard, still running with the phone. The battery's gone out months before. You're like Spring-Heeled Jack, some legendary figure. I didn't do that.
There'd be all those little, when you go on YouTube and there's a woman talking about the news roundup. Frank Skinner in an apparently motiveless crime.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming out of Fox News.
There'd be one picture of me. Not quite in frame.
Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
Frank, I'd like to share something with you. It's from one of our readers, and I'm going to say it. This character is called Darren, and he sounds
I'm
like...
all right with that. You said it like I might say, let's just stop it there, shall we?
No, I think he'd be what I call a very nice friend for you. Do you want to hear why?
Yeah.
He says, Frank, knowing your love of the Venerable Bede and all things Anglo-Saxon, I couldn't help thinking you would enjoy the book I'm currently reading. It's a novel that covers the many years spent by the monks in the wilderness, trying to find a resting place for St. Cuthbert's corpse. And then he says in brackets, too dark for breakfast.
Oh, right.
It's well researched and
It's
beautiful.
a happy ending.
He says it's beautifully written, plenty of Bede quotes as well. Oh, why didn't you say sooner? I'm well in. It's called Cuddy by Benjamin Myers. Google it.
Okay, I will Google it.
Okay?
It sounds good. I like a historical novel.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's properly researched.
They generally are pretty heftily researched.
I think they know their target market is disgusting little pedants like me.
Yes, exactly.
So
Are
the
you not
pressure's on.
I'm getting the sense Pierre's not a fan, Frank.
I'm a fan of
Are
what?
you?
Historical novels?
Yeah, you like them.
Yeah, if they're done well. If people have done their research.
I think generally it is a sort of a sugared medicine for most people.
Yeah.
A way of getting history.
I think that's true. What you don't want is a lot of that. No one called Napoleon will ever be the emperor.
No, you don't want that.
Mate, I can't
Next
even
thing you'll
bear-
be telling me, Leonardo, silver birds will fly in the sky with people in them.
Who is this artist? Picasso, you say?
Well, I don't think that looks much like a face at all.
Yes, you don't want any of that.
No.
Oh, nah.
But what was it called again? Cuddy.
Yeah, Cuddy.
I'll write
So
it
you
down.
can all, they could have thought, you know what, love the sound of you, Darren. Don't even mind the Venerable Bede. Don't love the title.
Well, I
It
think
wouldn't make me want to buy it. Have you got a copy of Cuddy? It's not very.
I think it sounds like a pet cow's name, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds
Because
like
of the
a sort of
cod
Brummy swear
chewing.
word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we won't go into. I'm just going through my card index mind just to check it isn't.
Just black country dialects being riffled through.
Yes, I seem to remember Haynock and Haley doing a routine about it. No, it sounds. I wasn't St. Cuthbert separated from his head at some point.
Pierre, sounds like an area for you rather than me.
The one, no, that was the king who was decapitated by Penda, the pagan king of Mercia,
Of course.
the last pagan English
And other
king.
things I love to hear on dates.
Yeah. Yes, Yes,
Especially speed data when you get like a minute.
So,
Yeah, on a speed date.
it'd be awful. Have you heard of Mercia? Oh, well then,
He just
I'll
mentioned.
get you on the next way round.
Any feedback on that guy? He just talked about decapitated kings, and I didn't like it.
Yeah. What was he getting at? So. Here's another. I tell you what I went to this. Occasionally, one goes to a show where you just at the end of it feel like you could fly. You've enjoyed it so much. And it was Old Friends, it was called. And it was a Stephen Sondheim tribute, including Boddy Langford.
Oh.
What else could I ask for? It was, oh man, it was so brilliant.
Was it? I'm going next week, Frank.
Oh, well, I don't think I'm just going to go every week for the rest of my life. And Janie D,
They're all
Joanna
there.
Riding.
He won't know that. He likes decapitated kings.
You know, do you know Bernadette Peters? You know that?
You know
She's
her.
in The Jerk.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, so I sat behind Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh.
And I told her a story because my son I was talking to my son in the street and he suddenly stopped mid-sentence. Our Ronnie Biggs. And
God.
and I looked round to see why he'd stopped talking so abruptly, and Helena Bonham Carter was doing a 3-point turn nearby him because she's Bellatrix Lestrange from Harry Potter. He was in awe of her.
Of course.
So I told her this, and she liked the story. And then afterwards, she came up to me at the after show. I said, "Are you getting a cab home? She lives quite near me." And I said, "No, I'm getting the bus." And she went, "Oh, no." Which I did. She's very funny, to be fair. I think it was irony. We'll never know.
I can't believe you caught her in a rare moment of not being in a Tim Burton film.
I know, yeah. Also, did she not have the broomstick with her?
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Something over the years, and I have mentioned this before on the show a long time ago, pre-Novelli.
What?
Is that whenever conversation dried up, well, if conversation dries up nowadays, what do people talk about? Strictly? Sport?
Mercia.
No, I go straight in with
Mercy,
Strictly.
Yeah.
I go straight in.
It used to be if conversation dried up, people would play their Bermuda Triangle card.
Oh.
And people
What do you
would
mean?
talk. Well, Bermuda Triangle was the godfather of conspiracy theories.
Oh, yeah.
It was the first one I'm sure that there was before, but that was very popular.
Well,
And
Barry Manilow had a lot to do with that.
Of course. But people would talk at length about their theories about the Bermuda Triangle. And it's gone a bit now with phones. You don't need it. You start showing people, what are they called? Viral comedy. In inverted commas. So anyway...
Were you terrified of it, though, Frank? So, I was terrified of the Bermuda
Well, I
Triangle.
didn't know. I didn't really fly anywhere then, so I thought I'd be all right. I was very happy for other people to go down for the sake of a bit of pub chat. Anyway, this week I watched a documentary, and the latest theory is that there's an undersea volcano there.
Right.
And what it pumps out is, get this, and I want to quote this to get it right, it says, is the most magnetic naturally occurring material.
Okay.
And do you know what it's called?
Charisma.
This is what really upset me. The most magnetic naturally occurring material.
Yeah.
You want any guesses?
Oh, yeah.
It's called magnetite. That is, come on, is that the best you got?
Come on, guys. That's a real 5 p.m. on Friday.
It's
to
a
be
real
in.
copper. And
Yeah.
also, can I say, it's also one of the Pokemon as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, that's even worse. It'll be Diggersby next.
Very good.
Diggersby is my favourite Pokemon.
Frank, I
yeah.
love that you know the Pokemon.
You know more modern Pokemon than I do.
No, I don't know much Pokemon. Well, I was browsing my son's card collection just the other
Yeah.
night. Oh, isn't it shiny and pretty? Very pretty shiny. It is, yes. I imagine Gollum collected Pokemon cards, chucked away all the matte finishes.
Yeah.
And just kept the shinies. All me shinies. He ever said, he didn't say that. I'm
Sorry,
I'm
why is
improvising. I'm
Gollum-
riffing on a Golemic theme.
Why is them turned into Steptoe and Son.
Yeah. Oh, me pretties, don't leave me, Harold.
He's an East End figure.
Hasn't even got a holiday.
Oh, that's given me a pain in my coddy. I can hardly breathe.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I tell you what we did this week is my child lit some indoor fireworks. Indoor fireworks.
As in, they're supposed to be indoor.
Yeah, they're called indoor fireworks.
Oh.
You must have heard of indoor fireworks.
No.
How do they
Really?
work?
This sounds like tartan paint, like one of those other things you make up
No.
to screw with someone.
How
No,
do they
it's-
work, indoor fireworks? I mean, they can't. Presumably, they're not fizzing around
Can
everywhere.
you only use them once, and then your indoors becomes outdoors due to flame?
No. You put them on, ideally on some sort of metal tray,
Yeah.
and then you light them, and most of them go. Bit of flame comes out, and then they go, and a bit more flame of a different colour, and then. And you put them on, and I put Handel's Royal Fireworks music on. So it was like this in our house.
So, Handel after a big lunch.
Yeah.
Can I say,
Oh, there's the worm one. There's one that you light, and a worm just comes spiraling
Oh, that's
out of
attractive.
it.
I know about the worm.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
didn't
I
know
just
that was
instinctively
indoors.
reached for a
I
poo
don't want a
bag.
worm on fireworks night. I don't want a worm ever.
No, it wasn't fireworks night. We just declared our own thing.
That's
I thought I'd celebrate other than the oppression of Roman Catholics.
Well, I'm with you on fireworks night because I'm not a fan, as you know.
I don't want a worm on
a dog
fireworks
owner.
night.
No.
It's like one of those old doo-wop songs.
My dog absolutely loves a firework. I've taken her out on the heath. Nothing even, never even notices screeching, banging fireworks. Really weird because she's quite a sort of nervy dog. But she's fine with the fireworks.
Weird.
Used to screeching.
I better not. Yeah, exactly. It's the screeching at our house. I better find out that Boz has poured wax into her ears on November the 4th. No, she was honestly not bothered by it. It's really weird.
Oh.
Lucky, I know. I saw they sold CDs of remember them? They sold CDs of firework sound effects that you could play to your dogs to get them used to it.
Oh.
So they could be frightened the whole year round.
gonna
Yes, I was going to say, or to punish them. Don't
would
make
you
me
get-
put on the CD again.
No, it was quite an event, I must say.
I
think
won't
it's-
be purchasing them, Frank. I don't
No?
know. It's the worm has really upsets me, and
Oh, to me, the worm is. I think I saved a particularly spectacular piece of music. It's about Buzz when the worm got to the worm said, "Can you put on Girls, Girls, Girls" by Motley Crue? I never got the reference. I don't know. I don't know if he just wanted to hear it. We all do sometimes.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Girls, girls, girls. Yeah. That's days and numbered, I would have thought, as a popular playing track.
If they haven't
women,
already expired.
women have to put that in over the top. You know when a computer thing comes on and the following train goes to Oxford, when the different voice comes in.
Yeah.
Women, women.
I don't like it when the robot voice is a bit higher. The next train is to Oxford. Ugh.
No, I don't like
It's
it.
horrible about that.
I love I love a robot voice. Generally speaking, it's one of my favourite things. But there's an old Roy Wood track about a computer that falls in love with a lady.
Did they have computers in Roy Wood's day?
Just about. They had big ones that you had to keep the room cold. Those
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of computers.
Yeah.
And it falls in love with her, and it's a love song. The whole thing's done in computer.
That was
voice.
quite a retro preoccupation, the idea of a computer falling in love with a lady.
It goes, I know why my engineer came today. And he talks about how sharp the screwdriver is and stuff like that. It's very moving.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Have we heard from those outside?
We have. Mark gets in touch. My dear
Frank Marker from Public Eye?
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
Could be. Dear Frank and team, indoor fireworks are a bit of a damp squib, he opens with. Very droll, Mark, you must come to more of these parties.
Hey,
He says,
No, he's joining
give
it.
us a chance.
it's good.
I love a joiner in
I
there.
love Mark already.
Indoor fireworks are a bit of a damp squib. However, should you ever come across something called an indoor chocolate party bomb,
Yeah.
do try it.
No, thank you.
I bought one nearly 20 years ago from the Conran shop, which I do not know what that
Oh,
is.
yeah, the Conran shop. It's like a
Yes.
sort of design place.
Still is.
Oh, is it?
Still going?
You
Oh,
might
yes,
buy
Terence Conran.
you might buy a lamp for your bedroom in the shape of an ostrich egg.
Might I?
It's a sort of innovative design store.
Okay, so it makes sense that they would sell indoor chocolate party bombs.
Yeah. Well, does it? That sounds to me a bit like that. More like the party shop round the corner.
Yeah.
It's got a picture of a sexy Little Red Riding Hood mannequin thing.
Yeah,
I can
next to a
imagine
sort of
it selling-
grotesque horror mask.
Yeah.
I can imagine it selling sort of Philippe Stark fireworks.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Do
Tasteful.
you know Starko?
No.
I stayed at one of his hotels in New York once.
Sound like he's from
You
West
stayed around
Brom.
Starkos?
Very dark. I remember there was the urinal had got like a waterfall element to it, which ran above it, which cleansed but also looked beautiful. And a woman stopped me and she said, "Would you take me into the men's toilets?" And I said, "Well, I'm in a relationship." She
Madam,
said,
those days are behind me.
Yeah. She said, "No, I really want to see the water feature." So I went and checked it out so she could go and I've heard it called some names. Hey, I said. No, and she went in and looked at this.
Radio,
She went,
8:51
she went.
AM.
She went in and looked at the toilet. Yeah.
I hope someone's just tuned in and heard that punchline.
Yeah. Well, it was art.
Well,
Anyway.
So, the indoor chocolate party bomb. Mark bought one nearly 20 years ago from the Conran shop and lit it at my wife's baby shower.
Okay.
The thing exploded with such ferocity and smoke and cordite. Great reference.
It is, yeah.
That the attending party screamed and hit the floor. When the smoke cleared, we found the room covered in sugar shrapnel and a large scorch mark on the tabletop.
Wow.
Banned in most countries, and I hear they've now been removed from the market.
But where does the chocolate element fit in?
I suppose it vaporizes.
I like that Mark, we should say, also ends with, well worth it if you find one.
Yeah.
But does it fire chocolate into the air?
It certainly seems to fire sugar into the air.
Okay.
Why would you want chocolate in the air?
Well, I can see it. It's a sort of a do-it-yourself piñata.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
If you go, we're not. Piñatas are out of date. It's too labour intensive to beat them up with a baseball bat. A hand grenade will do the job just as quickly.
Do you know, I never liked piñatas. I never did.
But you know,
Watching children queuing up with a bat to
To it-
attack an animal
I know
hung
that
from it was
it's
disgusting.
bad when you put it like
Good
that.
training.
But this,
What
you
were
see,
people thinking?
there's no bats required in this. It's a bit like the old. Do you remember the old sheep?
No bats required.
Do you remember the old? Yeah, that's my Halloween motto. Do you remember the old sheep illness where their bellies used to absolutely swell up? Well,
yeah.
it's the sort of piñata version of that, the chocolate bomb. But they go up and toffees and that rain down from with a little bit of entrail, but not as much as you'd even notice.
This is Frank Skinner. This is
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Pierre Novelli. Text the show on 81215. Follow us on X and Instagram at Frank on the Radio. Email via frank@absoluteradio.co.uk. Okay. I can't smell the incense at home, but it's thick in the air in the studio.
Oh, Mark Ryan. You remember he of the exploding indoor firework, has sent us photographic evidence of the exploding chocolate
That was
bomb.
quick. Did it come on Von Ryan's Express? Can't have Vons anymore.
Pierre,
and Pierre was just telling
In Austria.
This is the kind of information Pierre supplies us with off air.
Yeah, no more Vons. Has it come back? Have Vons returned, or have they gone
They
forever?
simply are forbidden. They are verboten.
Das ist verboten. That was the letter that was sent out.
We should explain why there are no Vons in Austria.
They were too naughty in the war.
Okay.
Do you know any Vons? I know some lovely Vons.
I knew an Yvonne. But they wouldn't have gone for her as well, surely.
What was that? At immigration.
She was naughty during the war, if I remember rightly.
No longer with us. Anyway, Mark continues. I will show you the picture. Perhaps we should put this picture up. I mean, it's a bit shocking, Pierre, isn't it?
This is the chocolate...
chocolate
Mark
bomb.
continues and he says, for your info, the chocolate acts as a fragmentation grenade and has to be scraped off the walls and ceiling.
Oh, my
And I
goodness.
really can believe it seeing this picture, can't you?
The picture is, I was imagining a sort of a round cartoon bomb, like from
Yes.
Donkey Kong. Or a Batman, 1960s sort of Batman.
Yeah.
It's not. It is very much a kind of
Or,
war horse artillery
Early
shell.
20th century anarchist round bomb.
I'll tell you what, a sort of cartoon Acme bomb company.
The sort of bomb you'd throw at a Von
Yeah, exactly.
if you were an Austrian anarchist.
It looks like something out of, remember that programme Danger UXB?
Oh,
Right?
yes,
It's
I do
got
remember.
that
Anthony
in it.
Andrews.
It's an artillery shell. It's a massive artillery shell.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
it's called Standard Chocolate Bomb. And you can only buy them from France. And what I
Right.
like is it comes with a data sheet.
Do you remember those far-off days when whenever France was mentioned, someone would go, ho-he-ho?
I received a great deal of that growing up, as you can imagine.
I bet you did.
Oh, yeah.
I've been hoy-honed at by all sorts of luminaries and scholars.
Pierre, when it's described, it's called the Standard Chocolate Bomb Size 3. I don't even want to know about 1 through 2.
Yeah.
Dark Chocolate Bomb, 10 people, draggies and 10 gadgets. What are the 10 gadgets that it comes with?
It comes with 10 gadgets. The description is the famous Brachier chocolate explosive bombs. Unique in the world, the dark chocolate shell explodes for real to let sugared almonds and 20 various gadgets escape.
Okay.
The gadgets escape.
The various gadgets, they escape.
Finally, would you like to guess how much the chocolate bomb costs?
1999.
Incorrect.
Okay.
It's quite a lot.
I can exclusively reveal. Can you do a quick euros conversion? Well, I'll tell you in euros, it's actually not that far off these days.
Basically, 1-to-1, actually.
86 euros.
Oh, my.
40. 86.40.
Yeah.
It'll set you
Wow.
back the bomb.
Just sort of 75 quid.
I went to the military museum at was it Los Alamos?
Oh, yeah.
Anyone who's watched Oppenheimer might have got a reference to it. And there you could buy chocolate versions of the two bombs that were dropped by the Enola Gay. I know.
Oh, my.
I know, it's really offensive. One could argue it was too dark for breakfast. No chocolate armament. Yes, it was shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a science museum at Los Alamos. Los Alamos is where they developed the nuclear weapons, and there was a science museum, and they were very, very sheepish about it and talked about it being the peacemaker and all that. And there's a film that you watched that ended before the big bomb was dropped and all that. They were kind of in denial. And then in the military, they were apps. You could have your picture sitting on models of the bombs and stuff. with the military, it's all in a day's work. It was really shocking.
We finally made one really big. We did it.
It was unbelievable. Like Dr. Strangelove Museum.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Stephen Vadgama, could you please make yourself known? I just realised when I said that it had the air of a sort of tannoy announcer.
Yeah.
Stephen Vadgama. Stephen Vadgama has got in touch. Guten Morgen, Frank, Emily and Pierre. As a teacher of German, I felt I should correct your pronunciation of the German word von, of, from,
Yes.
often occurring in the surnames of nobles.
He's going to say fun, isn't he?
The German V is, correct, Frank, as according to Stephen, an F sound, as in Frank. So it should be von.
Okay.
Stephen's
Over to you, Pierre.
Stephen's right, but I don't think Stephen is prioritising mass communication over accuracy, which is the key to the key to radio. One might
Stephen
Key
is
to
right.
teaching, you could argue.
If we'd said phon,
Yeah.
there would have been people who thought that we'd started talking about phones in a black country accent.
Yeah.
Or Fonzie.
Or Fonzie.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
I'm afraid,
Was he
Stephen.
known as Fon for short?
No, I don't think
He
so.
didn't have for short. He didn't laugh much, Fonzie.
No,
He
he
was
just
called
said A.
Fonz for short, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's a bit rubbish.
He's just-
Take one letter off.
He didn't laugh much. He was just
Did you
hard.
ever see Fonzie be funny, Frank?
He would sort of be arch.
Yeah.
Arch.
He
We
was-
can all be arch.
Anyway, let's not shoot the German teacher down. I
No, I'm
did German
shooting
at school.
Fonzie
Ach du lieber Gott, mein Bein ist gebrochen.
I love
Yeah.
Stephen
Chew the
Vadgama.
meat out of that.
My gripe was not with him.
We would all like to live in the world where we say Volkswagen instead of Volkswagen. But I'm afraid. Entschuldigung, mein Herr, we don't.
Yes.
Frank,
Looking at, can I bring us back to?
when you say that, you do sound like Falco and Rock Me Amadeus.
Yeah, well,
we used to have, when we were taught German, it used to go, Beispiel, hört zu.
oh,
And then
the
you
little
had to
tone.
repeat.
I find
Yeah.
it interesting. So you were taught German as standard and not French.
I'll tell you why we were taught German. I went to a thing called a technical school, which is an experiment. It was neither a secondary modern or a grammar. It was something in between. It was supposed to be for working class boys who might get to be like, not in the offices, but at the top end in the factory. You might blue collar, would you call it?
White collar?
You might still
Starting
be.
to be white collar.
Yeah, white
Yeah.
collar. Almost white collar.
So
yeah.
like foreman, a bit past that.
Duck egg blue collar.
Yeah, exactly.
Halfway between.
And so the idea was, and this is absolutely true, it was explained to us, that the future for trade in Europe, Germany would be a bigger deal.
Adorable.
And so we were taught German because it would be more practical in a world that smelt of Swarfiga.
But
Yes.
for technology, that was definitely the right call of all
Was
the
it?
choices. Yeah, oh yeah, for
I can see that would make sense because there was French is a bit
chocolate bum.
off to study at the conservatoire.
It's a bit hocky hot.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
a bit hoity-toity.
What I'd like is a citron that when you press the horn, it went hocky hot.
Just in terms of the Frenchest thing I've seen, to briefly return us to the chocolate bum,
Yeah.
it comes with a data sheet.
Okay.
And it sort of tries to tell you where best to employ your chocolate bomb.
Yeah.
Event type, all kind of event.
Oh.
Gender, mixed. It does not matter who or what or why.
It's a bit
Blow up the chocolate
vague. Very vague. That's what it
A
is.
little bit louche.
It's like the Hard Rock Cafe, Love All Circle.
I have just had a
That's
look. We
the
should
bomb.
put the picture of it, though, 'cause
Yes.
you won't believe it.
You
It
actually
honestly
won't.
looks like the sort of thing that will be found under a secondary school where everyone has to be evacuated. it really does look like a big, old-fashioned, dangerous World War II bomb.
really does.
And yeah, it's for children's
Terrifying.
parties.
All kind of event.
Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
I've just passed around the Takis.
Why did you give me that, Frank? Explain what it is.
Well, I've got a bag of takis, which I don't know if you're aware of takis. They're little tubes. It's a snack, but they're quite spicy.
They're sort of like if crisps were sort of pancakes. They're sort of rolled up like little cigarillos.
If crisps were pancakes.
If crisps were pancakes, the opening song of my new musical.
People used to say when I was a kid, if you said people would say if ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no need for tinkers. They don't say that anymore, strangely. I wonder why.
To which I would have responded, well, that profession has kind of died out now, anyway, I'm afraid.
Well, that's why. Ifs and ands were taken.
Did you ever meet it? Yeah, what was that? Was a tinker like a pots and pan salesman?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it was
A repairer.
Oh, okay.
Was it a repair?
Where you get tinkering.
Oh,
To tinker with.
Fair enough.
well done.
I remembered the rag and bone man of yesteryear, but tinkers I don't remember.
In fact, your fellow black countryman, my friend George, who we went to go see in the Shakespeare play, grew up in Wensfield in the Black Country in the 90s and still remember the rag and bone man going around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, even in the 90s.
Wow.
Indeed.
It's a different world out there.
Never knew what he shouted. All right, all ringers, all rhiners. Give me £10, I'll give you half of that liners. That's what he used to shout.
I would have mixed it up if I were a rag and bone man. I would have said, excuse me, out of the way, please.
No,
Excuse me, I need your rags and bones.
They put a lot of faith in repetition, the rag and bone man.
Yes.
Yeah. They were called tatters. That was their nickname.
Frank, what are these things you've given us? They're really
very spicy.
Takis, Takis, and they come. They come in bags. There is a blue takis which I've never tried, which they tell me is really nuclear.
Oh, even more spicy.
Yeah.
Oh. I've never heard of these before.
Really
It's
today.
lovely
affected me
to
quite
see.
profoundly.
You'd think that there'd been an emotional story had just been told. Everyone's slightly teary from having a takis. I'm deep into them.
Why are people quite obsessed? You know, there's quite a competitive element to this sort of hot sauce and
Well,
what
these-
temperature can you take?
I think these are a thing now that. Do you remember I told you about Prime, that soft drink that people were selling like for 15 quid a bottle and stuff
Yeah.
like that in places?
It's just Tropicana.
I've seen these. I'm told this large bag was £3, which I think must be some sort of mistake.
Why?
Because usually they're more like, one half this size is about a £5.
Really?
Right, it's that artificial scarcity thing.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows what it contains?
Pure internet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it's so spicy.
Dipped in internet. The internet can be pretty spicy, let's face it. What a great sort of gentle description of the internet content that would be.
Frank Skinner.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Frank, we've had in some correspondence regarding rag and bone men,
Oh, yeah.
which seems sort of pique us, really. And this is from Sally King. We still have the rag and bone and scrap iron men come round,
Really?
both in my hometown of Worcester and where I now live in Stoke.
Do they still employ a bugle?
Well, Sally elaborates. However, their call is now a recording played through a loudspeaker. I still have no idea what they're saying.
The subject of that email is Rag and Bone Judas. They've
Yes.
gone electric.
I didn't even see that. That's brilliant.
That's great.
They are
In case you don't get that, that's a reference to a Bob Dylan gig at the Free Trades Hall in Manchester, I think, where somebody shouted Judas because he'd gone from protest singing to a sort of electric music.
See? So there you go.
There are some churches that use their church bells are on
Is that
tape
right?
as well.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Use a real bell. You're in the business of authenticity.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, well, you lot in your cathedrals. You're purists, aren't you, you
Well,
two?
it's all record. I think I think mosques sometimes the call to prayer is
Yes.
is recorded.
But then that's got to be clearer, doesn't it? With it's words rather than a bell sound. I think.
Don't get me wrong, I love a church bell.
Okay. Thank you for that version of the Pretender song.
And that was from the Hunchback of ND. Keep him anonymous.
Okay, anonymous. He always kept a low profile.
Oh.
So,
Hunchback.
Hunchback. Anyway,
May I return us to a subject covered only last week on this show?
I love a reprise.
So
That's
do
why
I.
I'm going to have another takis as you read this.
I mean, can I say those takis? I noticed when you attempted to offer me another one, I declined. Thanks, but no thanks. I noticed it said on the bag, "Face the intensity," in a sort of fiery font.
Yes.
And there was also a temperature gauge
By
featured
the
on
way,
it, which was bright red.
There might be people thinking, "Oh God, is this advertising?" And
No.
they're getting a backhander from Takis. But I can say on that strength that most of the people in the studio hate them.
I loathe them.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a French subtitle to that needlessly extreme branding as well, which was "Bravez l'intensité."
What does that mean?
Brave the intensity.
No, you're all right, thanks. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. So last week's show, we were talking about the Robinson's factory. Do you remember that, Frank?
The Robinson brothers.
I do apologise.
They generated smells.
Yes, professionally.
Deliberately.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I think we need to explain a bit.
Yeah. We should come to
Shall
this
we?
after, but it was really a revelation. It's one of those times when we hear from one of our readers, and I went onto my heels. I normally operate on my toes.
That's because you'd had those tackies.
But I went back and thought, wow, that's almost unbelievable. But almost, of course, it covers a long area.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Frank, I was in the middle of telling you about the Robinson factory. I wasn't telling you.
Robinson brothers, yes.
Robinson Brothers.
They make smells.
Shall I give you a bit of background?
Yeah.
Is I went into a big deluxe sweet shop in Edinburgh, and the first time I went in, I said to my son, "Whoa, it smells great in here. I really just want to get like 10 pounds of pick and mix and pig out." And then the next time I went in, I saw them switching on a machine which emanated that very smell, which drew me in, which I was a little bit disappointed by, that it was so synthetic.
And then we were informed that the synthetic coffee smell was made by Robinson's brothers.
Yes.
Well, it hadn't even occurred to us that there was such a thing as a faux coffee
So
smell.
when you break through the foil of an instant coffee jar,
I love
and
what-
you get that of coffee. Actually, that was more indoor
I was going to
fireworks.
say,
I was gonna say.
little snake coming out.
But it opens and you get that smell of coffee. Apparently, instant coffee doesn't smell of coffee, we were told. Is that right?
That's correct. By the way, what do you use for your piercing implement for the coffee?
Well, because I play ukulele, I've got sharp nails on my right hand, so I can just tear it.
You've got a
Tear
coffee
it
claw.
out.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
have.
like that.
I used to thumb and go round like that, like it was a little tin opener.
Is your thumbnail long enough to use it as the spoon for the coffee as well?
Well, I hope it's the coffee he's using it for. If you know, I was around in the 70s, my friend.
If it would be, I could do maybe if I did half a dozen scoops.
Yes, yeah.
But I don't drink coffee that much, so I like to use a spoon just because the novelty of using eating irons.
Oh,
Rag and bone, man.
Anyway,
So, anyway, this is from Sarah, who contacted us during the week.
look, I'm only human after all.
Okay.
That was Rag and Bone Man. Go
Yeah, I know.
on. Didn't use a bugle on it. All the old ways have died out.
him and his recordings.
Have you got any washing machines you don't want? Have you got any fridges you don't want? Have you got any hoovers you don't want? Put them on my cart. Yeah.
Any old iron.
Anyway, that was Rag and Bone Man. Carry on.
Okay. This is from Sarah. Dear Frank and team, I grew up in Hilltop, West Brom,
Oh, yes, I know it.
and we sometimes used to get strange chemical smells in the garden.
Sorry about that.
My mum would say, "Oh, it's from Robinson's again."
Oh.
It's a memory I'd forgotten until your coffee smell conversation, probably due to memory loss from chemical inhalation.
Probably.
P.S. It was my idea to send you pies from the pie factory a couple of years ago.
Oh, yes.
I wasn't responsible for the mix-up.
No, I got pies from the pie factory. There's the place I used to do a gig in Tipton called Mad O'Rourke's Pie Factory, and they sent me a selection of pies, which is lovely. And then I got some addressed to Lenny Henry, and then I got some addressed to Cat Dealey, and they just thought that all the West Midlands celebrities live in the same house. Mine.
He redirected Lenny's to Premier Inn.
The big West Midlands house share in London. It's expensive in London, you know.
Yeah. We finally found a supermarket that sold faggots. We all moved in nearby.
Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
Okay. Frank 170 has texted us. Please, can you accept my invitation so that I can get free cash? Any response there?
What does it mean?
I don't know. What is the invitation? I mean,
It includes an exciting-looking dodgy link.
which we haven't clicked on.
Yeah, no, don't
surprisingly.
click on that, the whole thing. I got a letter from... I've never had a letter like this before.
What is it?
It's from Neil Hatfield, and he includes a thread, an email thread, to show how the letter came about in the first place. The letter arrives with its own backstory.
And it's a letter full of emails.
Yeah, it's
It's a bit cart before the horse, isn't it?
It is, it's interesting. He makes an interesting point, though, that you don't get many PSs in emails.
That's true.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
I still do them.
Do you?
Oh, I'm clinging on to the PS. I'm not letting it go.
Anyway, he sent me some poetry by an American poet called Wendy Wynne. Nominative determinism. She's going to head for the heights. And he said very nicely, she listened to your poetry podcast whilst having a wisdom tooth removed. So it is used as
An anaesthetic.
yeah. Thanks for helping me with that word, by the way.
I imagine it would
see
be...
that PS
What?
sensed I was reaching for that word and I hadn't got it, and he came in. Lovely.
He's very useful for that.
Little
Lovely.
word butler.
He's
I like help the aged approach to comedy.
No, I also like the idea of him being a word butler.
Yeah, that is good.
Oh, I love
tray
my
full of
word
words.
butler.
Yeah.
Your evening word, sir.
Thank you. Remember the opening of The Importance of Being Earnest? One of the things I've laughed at most in the theatre. There's a bloke sitting at the piano, and the butler comes in. I might slightly misquote this, and he said, "Did you hear what I was playing, Lane?" And the butler says, "I didn't think it polite to listen, sir."
Yeah.
But they drove him out of town like a dog. Anyway, so
Extraordinary.
Yeah.
where were we?
We were,
In the realm of Robinson's Brothers, Smells
yes.
Limited.
and we've heard from someone else who lives near a flavour factory. This is Seville, or Sevilla, however you want to say it. I live near a flavour factory. The smells escape, and so the air around can smell of chocolate, rhubarb, and custard. Sorry, I'm going to say that again. Chocolate, rhubarb and custard, or whatever scent is in production that day. And then Seville says, Seville also suggested the shop name Smell Fridges. And what I like is just a little aid memoir there that we haven't maybe credited Seville in the way that we should have. So Seville was responsible for smell fridges.
Yeah.
Is that right?
As our potential shop name for where you go to buy the smells.
Oh, I see.
Produced by Robinson Brothers Limited. We've also had from Robin Lee's Was Sent Me. Was Sent Me.
It was sent me.
Was Sent Me.
That's
Was
the
sent me.
proposed fake smells company. Was
Sir,
sent me.
Sir, your
Oh,
word.
was sent me.
Yeah.
I get it.
Ah.
I get it. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold.
Communicating with someone on Twitter. Or X, I should say.
These tackies are slowing me down, mate. It's the heat. It's this infernal heat.
Face
Oh, why don't they come?
Can you no longer face the intensity, Frank?
No, I can't.
You can't. We can no longer brave l'intensité.
I might steal the concept of face the intensity and just wear it as on a T-shirt so that
Yes.
people are warned when they meet me.
I don't think you're that intense, are you?
Am I as intense as a one of your spicy snacks? Well, I forgot
no.
what are they called again? Louis Fuego.
We can't keep saying their
Oh
name.
no, we can't. We'll get in trouble. Although,
We will.
am
Though we
I-
have absolutely slagged them off, and apart from me, everyone thinks they're monstrous.
I think my words were, I loathe them.
I-
I'm not sure they'd be able to do their match with that for their ad.
I enjoy
campaign.
them as a sort of personal challenge.
Yeah. But is that what you want from your snacks?
Sometimes.
Also, is that what you want from your slogan on your ad campaign? I enjoy them as a sort of personal challenge.
We should just have personal challenge quote.
I loathe them, Emily Dean.
Phew, what a scorcher, Frank Skinner. And a picture of me pulling my collar to one side, as people do when it's hot.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
What are you laughing at, you people?
We were enjoying. Emily did a good impression of the end of a lot of the songs that you like, Frank. Which
Oh,
is
thanks, Pierre. Go on.
Sir, Emily was making fun of your songs.
Tell him how I said it ended.
All the songs end with oi.
Sorry, Frank. I
So
did say
these are the
that.
songs that I play, not on the Decade channel. So if you've just heard "I Will Always Love You" by Whitney Houston, it won't really work. But I do play some shouty songs. I like shouty. I grew up with shouty. Shouty's part of my life.
I would like more sort of Whitney Houston or sort of classic love songs to end with oi.
Good for me. I
would like that.
I don't like a fade if it can be avoided.
No.
No.
So,
Boys.
That's what you say to your barber.
yeah.
Oh, yes. Do you know what are talking of Frank's barbers?
I was thinking if I had, by the way, a travelling dermatology company where we
Yeah.
went around dealing, we
I'm
could be
listening.
called Paw Patrol. PORE.
Ah.
What do you think?
Also, would you run it in the fashion of a rag and bone band with
Yeah.
a recorded message on a tannoy?
That's good. That's good.
Bring out your dermatitis.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exfoliation.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Big Canistan calendar on the back for dispensing.
Do either of you use masks ever?
Masks.
Yeah?
Only on
Why?
weekends.
Well, for what purpose?
Yeah.
For making your skin look nice. Like, you better,
Oh,
you
I
better
thought-
wise up if you're going to start this dermatology business,
Yeah.
Paw Patrol.
Yeah, you mean those? Do you mean those things that you sleep in that have like traditionally a slice of cucumber over each eye?
You can get
I
those
sleep in
disposable
two old
ones.
coppers on each eye just to save the family a bit of time.
That's on vampire.
It's the Ferryman skincare plan.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear.
No, Frank, you know those
I
ones.
don't think I've ever slept. How do you sleep in one? Don't you get stuff all over the pillow?
None of your beeswax. Do you not know those
No,
ones?
I did use it one with a bit of beeswax.
Have you not ever used one of those disposable ones? They tend to be from Korea, actually. You know, the white ones you put on your face.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the fabric ones.
I've
Have you not-
used. Never used the fabric one. I
you know
put
those
a
ones?
face. I put
Yeah.
a face masks. I got a free sachet once,
Oh.
and I just sat watching the telly in a face mask.
You've got very good skin, though.
Thank you
I've got
so
to be
much.
honest. So it does make me think you'd be a good brand ambassador for Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That would be good.
I grew up with 2 sisters, so yeah, I know the things you mean. This is slightly frightening white
I grew up with
Halloween
2 sisters.
masks.
They live 3 doors away, but I enjoyed it. So,
Oh my God.
no, but what's your face mask point?
No, I just.
Oh, I'll tell you what I have
is
done.
this? Having the House of Commons minister. Will you get to the point?
I'll tell you what I have done.
I mean, if we're going to start going back and falling over, what was your point? Sit down.
I didn't come here for points, but I was once in the Blue Lagoon in Iceland.
Oh yeah, I've been there. Been there, Pierre?
No.
And the Blue Lagoon, many people think is some sort of natural warm spring. It's actually heated by a nearby factory.
Is that right?
Yeah, but
Robinson's.
there is a grey clay under your feet. A
Disgusting.
thick, grey, squidgy clay. And what people do is they scoop it up and put it on their faces while they're in there.
I didn't.
So I did it. So my face was covered in this white thing like I was in ancient Egypt. It was minus 28 that night. So, of course, when we went back in to get changed, I locked David Baddiel out of the changing area in just his trunks. Just to watch him freeze. 28 degrees, quite dangerous. I didn't leave him too long.
No.
I didn't go for absolute bright blue. I just went for a little bit round the edges. Yeah.
I didn't scrape when I went there. I didn't put the clay on my face.
No.
I think what concerns me is a lot of men's old feet there.
Well,
They were
there is
stamping on
that.
it.
It's obviously men's old feet are not quite so alienated to me as I operate 5 feet 10 inches away from them at all times.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I need to get to something this morning. I've been meaning to bring it up. I would like to discuss the otter on the plane. Not just the otter.
Is that like the elephant in the room?
Yeah.
Well, it is now, because I'm adopting that phrase. But actually, it was an otter and a rat, strange bedfellows, were found running around a plane, which was travelling between Bangkok and Taiwan, I believe, earlier this week. Now, I was so obsessed by this because the rat was described as a giant albino rat. For any Americans listening, albino.
Yeah. There's a fabulous James Stewart film when he plays a dad and the daughter brings home this boyfriend who's very blonde and he says, is he some kind of albino?
So, and the rat, let's deal with the rat first, because
Yeah.
they did,
Yeah.
the cabin crew did, or as the Daily Mail chose to refer to them, the air hostess. They were still sticking to
Did
this
they?
1974 air hostess.
They actually did a particularly fine quote from the Daily Mail in which they referred to bongling airport chiefs. I love that. Nowhere else outside of a newspaper would
Yeah.
anyone talk about. Can you imagine someone losing their temper at an airport? A bongling airport chief?
It's like
What they said.
Insecurity, you bungling.
What they
it's such
said
a
was that
Beano speak, isn't
apparently
it?
this woman's bag was X-rayed, and they saw animals inside it in the X-ray,
Yeah.
and they waved it through.
Yeah.
And were later seen that their pockets were bulging with currency.
I know, but to let that go through without... It's Noah all over again.
do you think
It was quite some haul, Frank.
Do you think it was the first day of the guy and he went, well, it's just a bunch of skeletons.
Yeah, moving skeletons.
It's just a bunch of squirming skeletons in that bag.
Can we go back to the plane?
Yes.
Yes, sorry.
Just let's go back to the plane, because the rat, the giant albino rat, who is described as having glistening red eyes.
Yeah, that's a bit...
They're getting a bit
That's a bit unkind.
literary.
Why is it unkind?
Well, it's albinism. It's, you know.
Would you rather the rat had dry red eyes?
Yeah, exactly. You know, he is what he is, that rat, if it's a he.
I am what
It might be a lady rat. I always associate the pet rat was very much the default companion of the self-styled colourful character.
Yeah.
To get people in Birmingham who had their own rat, and you think, oh, right, mate, we've seen you.
Oh, yeah.
Sit down. I remember someone shouting that at the West Brom game. Sit down, we've seen you. And some bloke who got up and protested. We could say that of so many people in reality television.
Sit down.
Sit down, we've seen you.
They should get a letter saying that from the king.
That's what you should get when you retire.
Yeah.
I think that's a sit down.
We've seen you.
At your funeral. I'll happily have that at my funeral.
I think the BBC sent me a telegram with it on.
This is Frank Skinner. This is
Absolute Radio.
We're discussing the otter and the rat that was
Yes.
discovered on the plane. I mean, I'm saying the plane,
Yeah.
but it you know, I think it was discovered. I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure. Was it going to? It was between Bangkok and Taiwan. I think,
Taiwan.
It
actually.
was in the air.
Yeah, it was in
anyway.
the air.
Someone said they got back to their seat. A friend went to the toilet or something and came back and said, I've just seen a rat on the plane. Would you think it was just a dirty plane where it was...
I was going to say, a rat is too medieval a pest for something as advanced as a plane.
That's what's wrong
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Isn't
It
it?
doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
Well, what they said, which
like
I
if-
found interesting, is they relayed the conversation and they said, my friend whispered gently to me, there's a rat on the plane.
Yeah.
When does anyone ever whisper the sentence beginning, there's a rat, gently?
I'll tell you when, in the Mafia.
Why?
Actually,
rat.
there's also a UB40 song.
There's a snitch.
There's a rat in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, if I was in the Mafia and I was on a plane and someone came in and go, there's a rat on this plane. I go,
Yeah.
who's talking to the FBI?
Oh, I like that.
Ah.
But
Anyway, it wasn't that.
No, it was a real one.
and they
was
took the rat, they seized the rat first, they took it to the kitchen.
Well, and got bitten in the process.
Yeah.
Oh, why were they taking it to the kitchen? That's
see
a
if,
whole other
to see
No,
if it was a
that is-
ratatouille.
bit dodgy.
That,
To see if it could cook.
that is a worry.
Or what if they put the rat under the pilot's hat and it flew the plane even better? Like ratatouille.
Oh, did they put a little chef's hat on it?
Yeah.
Why was that rat cooking things up? It's
But what
disgusting.
they did make...
Why did they, Frank, let the rat be a chef? It's
I know
awful.
it is. It's
What, you
very.
can't have a rat in the
I mean,
kitchen.
I always thought hairy bikers was as bad as it could get, but an actual rat, hairy bikers with none of those hair things that Margaret Thatcher used to wear when she went to a biscuit factory on a tour. Nothing like that. Just hair dropping into the food. Disgusting.
Have you ever
What
seen a
about the
beard
rat
net?
with the little claws stirring the stew?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, there is a beard.
I've seen beard nets worn.
Yeah, for the same thing, but hairy bikers never bother. It all just drops in.
No.
Oh, about the rats? Don't think what they're
it is,
dropping
though.
in.
Apple crumble, the top millimetre is just dander from their facial hair.
Geordie Dander.
Yeah, Geordie Dander. Keep your feet still, Geordie Dander.
Anyway, they found out about the rat because someone started shouting, pet rat, it has a white body and it's not small. There's a lot of things that can be described that way.
I love an on-plane quiz. I love a riddle
Just the pilot.
on a flight.
Ladies and gentlemen, what has a white body? It's not small.
Is
Well,
it?
there's one on the plane.
It is quite
What has a
small.
white body and is not small?
There's lots of things.
Me.
The UK is the UK's strongest man. I was going to
Yes.
say.
Yeah, well,
yes.
that you already answered.
I've seen them. Oh, you would have been very good at that competition.
What about
Anyway.
when I was on an American Airlines flight and there was a dog in the hold that just started really barking?
Was it?
And it's somewhat horrible about hearing a dog barking from the hold
Yeah.
on a thing. And I've never heard it before or since on a plane. And I remember it crossing my mind that maybe American Airlines use dogs like miners use canaries to be the first to sense a crisis, and that was giving off the alarm. Oh, really? I don't do myself any favours.
Frank Skinner. Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
We've been talking about the otter and the rat
Yeah.
on the plane.
There were more creatures, I should say.
There were 28 live turtles.
Yeah, they found the passenger, and there's 28 star turtles and a snake.
Sounds like a Hollywood. 28 star turtles.
Yeah.
A snake, a marmot.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is, but I understand people either love them or hate them.
God.
And best of all, 2 otters and then 2 unknown rodents.
Well, that's
It's,
reassuring.
do they not have a Shazam app for rodents that
let's be
you can just point it at it?
Frank, I don't love the known ones.
No, exactly.
Don't get me started on the unknown.
I empathise with the lady who brought on the 28 turtles, because you always buy more than you need in duty free, don't you?
Exactly.
You would never normally buy 28 turtles at once. You'd get one.
Well,
they're
Duty free, they're on
It's a
offer.
family pack.
Yeah.
the perpetrator, who you're rather kindly referring to as the lady who
The
brought on
lady.
the 28 turtles.
Yes.
I really like the sound of her, though, because her response when she was confronted, they did a very plain thing, which was, is anybody who knows anything about these creatures please make themselves known to cabin crew, which is the ultimate, the plain...
So David Attenborough put his hand up.
I've got something to...
Went on for hours. About the star turtle. Yeah, all right.
Otters don't normally
We've seen
operate
you.
at 30,000 feet above sea level.
That's what they say. They say we've seen you when he starts talking about his natural history.
The marmots spread themselves pretty thinly. Carry on anyway, sorry.
God.
I'll stop now. We'll stop.
The perpetrator, the response was great. She went for the attack and delay.
Yeah, that's always
Do you
good.
hear what she said, Frank? She said, I want a refund.
She demanded a refund. For what? The animals?
Yeah.
It was a bit Trumpian almost in the tactics.
Yeah.
Terrible plane.
But, you know-
Very bad
Got a
people.
lot of turtles.
Got a lot of turtles.
Very well
Terrible
behaved. You don't hear a lot about them.
Totally unknown, the rodents. No one knew.
No one knew.
No,
No
no
one knew them.
No.
Totally unknown.
A lot of people are saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Trump woman, as I'm calling her,
Yeah.
she was, I presume, apprehended, wasn't she,
Yes,
afterwards?
she was
At some
she's in trouble.
stage. Was she in trouble?
She's in trouble.
But the unknown rodents has disturbed me. I mean, what fresh hell was that?
Well, also it said that they were taken to Pong Tung University for confirmation before disposal. Catholics, obviously.
Oh, God.
Deathbed conversions.
Well, Paul from Manchester, very briefly, I work in pest control. I used to treat aircraft with a pesticide, including the cabin, galley and luggage hold. If rodents are ever found on a plane, that plane cannot fly again until it's been inspected for any damage to cables and wires. It's a very serious
of
thing.
course.
I'm the
Yeah.
pest control man who told you about flying ants.
That would never occur to me that they
Yeah.
might gnaw at the wires.
What about the unknown rodents? I don't think what they'll do.
Well, we don't know what they'll do.
I think the animal I'd least like to see on a plane is a bird.
Frank,
Yeah.
what
They
animal-
wouldn't be team players if anything went wrong.
No.
Well, they do
They'd make
sometimes.
their own way to safety.
They find the kestrels and the birds of prey, don't they? What, Frank? What animal would you least like to see on a plane?
Lion.
A shoeless man.
But you're right, birds. Would birds bother to land on a plane, or would they just fly?
Would it be like in a
Wouldn't
taxi?
we just keep banging into them because they'd be flying at a different speed? I can't work it
Anyway.
out.
The taxi, they'd be like, anyway, here's fine.
I was once on a plane with the Olympic swimmer Mark Foster.
Huh?
And they read out the bit about, the life jackets and stuff. He looked at them with absolute contempt. How dare you? Yeah, I was just going to hold on to him. That was whether he crashed or not. He looked fantastic. Anyway, Sarah Champion's up next. Do listen to Sarah. Thank you so much for listening to us. And if the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. Now get out.
This is Frank Skinner. This is
Absolute Radio.